Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and we've got another prize picks video for you. We're going to be talking about January 31st, Wednesday. We have a 10-game slate for the NBA, and we've got some good matchups. We've got a little bit of a revenge game for Mikal Bridges playing against the Suns and Cam Johnson. So I'll obviously be watching that one pretty close on ESPN. So I love it when my Suns are in prime time. I can actually watch it on my TV instead of like some streaming website. But yeah, we've got 4 plays for you as usual for first look. But before we get into our plays, if you've never tried Prize Picks, use our promo code at the bottom of the screen and they'll match your first deposit up to $100. They're going to double what you put on, so you'll get $200 if you deposit the whole 100, but they're literally just going to match whatever amount you put on when you deposit. Just make sure you throw that code in there and they'll hook you up with that deal. And if you're new to our channel, if you want to catch this value and be able to, get these plays before they get bumped or removed, Jordy literally just had a play get bumped that he was excited about. So it happens all the time with us. But if you want to jump on these plays quick, just make sure you're subscribed and you have your notifications on so you can quickly see what we're getting into and decide whether or not you want to take these plays. And if you guys don't mind, do us a favor and smash that like button, like everyone else says on YouTube, but they all say that because it helps grow the channel. So if you want to support us, best way to do that is just liking the video, and it just helps us get in front of a larger audience. It's that easy. So we appreciate you guys. You guys have been killing it, and we're almost to 10,000 subscribers. We can't wait to get there. All right, so the 4 plays we're getting into, I'm going to be taking Donovan Mitchell over 11.5 rebounds and assists, and James Harden over 4.5 rebounds. What are you getting into, Jordy?
Okay, I'm going to be getting into, I had that Wendell Carter play. I actually shared it in the Discord right before we were about to start the video, and it got bumped 2 whole points. So I was like, and now it's like super juice to go under. So I was like, well, I can't take that. But taking Paul George for over 2.5 3-pointers made. Forgive me for this because this could go either way, but I feel pretty good about it. He's got a great matchup. It's Paul George. He's been on a terrible shooting slump, so I think he'll have a big bounce back game against a pretty easy opponent. And then I'm taking this Franz Wagner for over 3.5 assists.
All right. Well, before we get into the recap and the breakdown of these plays, we want to tell you about Chalkboard. They're our official partner. They're another platform. It is iOS only right now, so if you don't have iOS, you can't play it unless you get an iPhone. But they are finishing up the Android version right now, and a desktop version's coming soon as well. But it's a really cool platform. You can set your own lines. That's basically the main thing that I think is the selling point for them that I really enjoy is you can adjust almost every prop. You can set it to a line that you prefer. And the higher you set the line, the higher your multiplier goes. And the lower you set the line, the lower your multiplier goes, obviously. And they have dollar minimum bets. So if you want to check that out, just use code BACKDOOR and they will match your first deposit up to $100. And there's a link in the description of the video if you guys want to check that out. All right, so getting into our recap. I'll just go through all 4 of my plays because I wrote them down and I don't remember the night from the day video. But I'll start with the 2 that did not work out for me. Both of my assist props that were those low-hanging fruit, they tricked me. We had Jaylen Brown over 3.5 assists. He only went for 2. And then Pascal Siakam, 3.5 assists. He only went for 2. But then Jonathan Kuminga crushed his PRA. We took him at 28.5. He went for 35. And Aaron Nesmith is looking consistent. He's keeping it together. And like we talk about those guys who can play defense, they get to stay on the court longer. And he's starting to put it together on offense too. We took him for over 17.5 PRA, and he went for 23. So you did better than I did. You got the sweep, didn't you, Jordy?
Yeah, and I went for 4 on this one.
Nice.
Just some good picks in there. So I took Colin Sexton in the night video for over 5.5 assists. He went for 7 again. That one worked out perfect. John Collins, this is one that me and Russo both liked, and we were like, one of us have to take it because John Collins was just on such a freaking heater, and his lines are just too low. He went for 25, so he beat it by a pretty decent amount. And then the day video, this Nikola Vucevic, don't even start. I've already got the giggles when we started this video, and now it's too late.
Too late.
Now I'm just, here come all the comments again. I can't wait. But I took Vucevic for under 41 fantasy score, and he had 37.3. I said in the video, this one could go either way. He's gonna either come very close to it and not hit it, or he's going to go completely over it. And he got close. He got to 37.3, but we hit on this one. And then Chris Dunn, this fantasy score, it was just so low. He barely, got it done, but he went to over. I'm trying to watch how I'm wording this now because Russo's got me laughing. But I took Chris Dunn for over 17 fantasy score also, and he hit. He went for 18.6. So it was a good night on those ones. It's so frustrating, man. We're trying to put this full on sweep together, and we're doing good in like the Discord and everything, but it's just hard to like those first look plays sometimes are really tricky.
Yeah. And I mean, realistically, we had 2 3.5 assist plays that missed just barely to keep us from the full sweep. So it was a close one. Mm-hmm. And as far as the slap happy vibes, like I blame the carbs, man. Taco Tuesday. I got Chipotle for like the 4th week in a row. We've just been doing Taco Tuesday, literally on Taco Tuesday. And I'm just way too carbed out right now. I got to get back to some low carb stuff, so I'm not like all tired and slap happy. But it is late. It's 2:30 a.m. But all right, let's get into these plays. All right, so to get us started, I'm going to be talking about this Donovan Mitchell play for over 11.5 rebounds and assists. This is juiced to go under, so full transparency as usual. Go with your gut. And I think it's just because this is a potential blowout. But you just never know with Detroit right now. They're pretty gritty. I don't think they're going to win this game, but I'm hoping they can keep it close. And they're kind of working their way into that Wizards category where it's like they can sometimes surprise. And like we always say, this is the NBA, so teams can just show up when you least expect it. But this is a massive over-under, or not a massive over-under, massive spread. We got a 228.5 over-under with Cleveland favored by 12.5. So they're expecting this to be a blowout. So take caution. If you don't like this play, just fade it. But there's no way I could take the under here. And he's been on such a heater. I think he can get this done. If we look at his last, he's done this 7 out of his last 10 games. But if we look at his last 5, he hasn't gone under 14 once. So getting to 12 doesn't seem that difficult. I mean, he's got a good matchup too. I mean, it's like, let's see, particularly to shooting guards, it's a little bit more difficult. 6th in rebounds allowed, 3rd in assists allowed. But we know who Donovan Mitchell is. He's in rhythm right now. He's balling. He's gonna be the centerpiece. He just let's double check. Is Mobley still back? Mobley's still good to go. Like, that is just extra assists for Donovan Mitchell. Like Mobley is like the lob king. He gets so many lobs, and he's going to be doing his scoring, and Donovan Mitchell is going to be just getting after it. If you look at this last game, like just 16 rebounds and assists, and 12 assists in Mobley's first game back, I think is what that game was. So I'm going to be taking the over here, especially for first look. The board is actually a little bit difficult right now. There's quite a bit of value when it comes to demons, so definitely check that out. We'll tell you about some of the ones we're looking at early, but as far as just regular plays, I'm going to be rolling this Donovan Mitchell rebounds and assists over. And apologize, let me just pull it back up. It's actually right here. So yeah, it's heavily favored to the under. So if you don't want to take it, I've said it a million times, just fade it. But 54.38% odds to hit the under at a minus 142. So they have this heavily juiced. I think it's also because some of these, like FanDuel has this set at 10.5, and since Prize Picks has it at 11.5, Daily Grind is just seeing this and saying that's a huge discrepancy there. So they're favoring the under. But I would much rather take the over here personally. So that'll be one of the plays I'm rolling. And for my next play, going with James Harden, 4.5 rebounds, we do have some potential blowout here as well. So same thing. This is like first look. This is going to be some disclaimers attached to these because there's a lot of potential blowouts for what's on the board that we're looking at right now. We have a 237.5 over under with the Clippers favored by 12.5. And I think this really could turn into a blowout. So keep that in mind. But this is a really low line. for Harden, just 4.5 rebounds. And what I'm really looking at here, like he's gone over at 4 out of his last 5. But what I'm really looking at here is these last 3 games, because I like to look for trends when guys are in rhythm, and that's why you see stuff like 10, 8, 7. It's like he, had this low week against LA, and then he like overcorrected, and he's kind of been keeping it together, So I think he can at least get us 5. He's got like a really good matchup, being 30th in rebounds allowed. And let's look here specifically to shooting guards, but he plays point guard more. So 26th to point guards. If he does go to the 2, 27th to shooting guards. So they just allow a lot of rebounds. And so I expect Harden to be able to just get a 5 at least. By the way, if you guys want to check out Outlier, this app is just awesome for statistical analysis. It's the best in the business. And we've partnered up with them. So if you want to check it out, there's a 7-day free trial if you just go to the link in the description of the video, and they'll let you try it out for 7 days and see how you like it. I'm sure you'll love it. We love it. So hopping over to Daily Grind. Sorry, I forgot to pull this up. I actually had, I was looking at one of the plays, considering one of the plays that Jordan ended up taking. So over here on Daily Grind, the rebounds are actually his top play. According to Daily Grind, they have it at 52.41% odds to hit the over at a -129. And we got -125 or higher for the most part across the board on other odds makers. So I'm feeling good about this. This is just like a really low line. So these are the 2 I'm going to be rolling with. How about you, Jordy?
Yeah, so to get into mine here, I'm going to be going with this Paul George 3-pointers made. I feel great about this one. I got burned on it in the underdog video in this Cleveland matchup, but that was a really tough matchup for him. I just thought, it's Paul George, like he could probably get this done anyway. But 2.5 is just too low for someone like Paul George, man. Like, you even look at, he shot 5 threes in that game. He was just shooting the bricks. Like, I put that GIF in the Discord when we shared the plays in there of him just kind of shooting bricks, and I was just kidding, but it ended up being pretty true. But I think he'll have a good bounce back game here. It's a great matchup for him. Obviously, major blowout potential. Just be careful with this one. But I think he'll get 3 threes before this gets out of control. If you look at the head-to-head, the last time they played Washington, it was in 2022 in December, so it's a long time ago. But he hit 5 threes in that game, if you care about something 2 years ago. But this year, he's been on a heater with this. He's done it 16 out of 20 games, 30 out of 43 games. So it's just too low for what Paul George is capable of. I mean, we were taking this play a couple of weeks ago at 3.5, and he was hitting it. So I feel great about him hitting this. It's just a volume play when it comes to 3-pointers, and it's a total percentage thing. It's like, is he going to hit, enough of what he's shooting? And he's putting up 8.2 attempts per game over the last 10 games, and he's making 41% of them. So that right there is going to cash it. He's just got to hit his percentages. So I feel good about it. Great matchup. Ranked 19th in 3-pointers allowed, giving up 2.8 a game. So I feel good about this one. If you look at Daily Grind here, it is a 52.81% chance to go over and a -130 kind of across the board. So feeling good about Paul George in this one. And then my last play, I was going to take Wendell Carter for over his points and rebounds at 18.5, but they bumped it a whole 2 points. And now it's super juiced to go under. You guys can mess around with that if you want, but I don't like to play unders when it's that close, when it was just juiced to go over and it's only 2 points higher. So I don't like to mess around with those kind of creepy lines. So I'm going to go with this Franz Wagner one. I feel good about Franz getting this done too. These demons on this thing, God, they just plague the board. But I'm going with this over 3.5. I think it's a pretty silly line. There's some blowout potential in this game, I believe. Oh, there's not. It's only a 4.5 point favorite to Orlando and a 228 over under. So should be a good competitive game between them. And if you look at Franz over the last couple games here, he's done this in 5 out of 10, 4 out of his last 5. Let me see here. I wanted to look at something. The head-to-head. So the head-to-head, he's gone over this in both times they've played. He played them early on last year, so nothing too crazy that we should pay attention to. But this year, he's really been heating up with the assists. So I like him to go over this 3.5. I think it's just pretty low. Obviously, this one is, let's see here. It's a 53.65% chance to go over and a minus 137. So pretty juiced here. Obviously, in my opinion, it's probably more of a 50-50 shot just because of when this dude gets hot scoring the ball, he doesn't really pass it that much. So just beware of that, you know. Like this one game where he went for 1, he played 5 minutes. I think he got hurt or something. Not really sure what happened there, but he gets a ton of minutes. Like the minutes are not going to be a problem. It's just going to be him getting it done. So that's the two I've got, man. I feel pretty good about these two.
Sweet. If you want to just pass it back over to my screen, I'll just quickly show everybody some of the demons that we liked. These aren't our official picks, but they all happen to be assists. There's a lot of value on the board for assists. I've actually cashed this one a couple times, Şengün at 6.5. That's, you know, this is kind of honestly a quick way to just, you guys probably do the same thing, but you know, just look at their last 5. And this just seems kind of low because most of the time when you're taking a demons play, you're kind of, it's a roll of the dice, you know, it's intentionally harder to hit these lines. But this doesn't seem that difficult, you know, 4 out of his last 5. So we like Şengün 6.5. And I'm not saying to take all of these. I'm just showing you some of the ones that stuck out to us.
I like that KD one.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go to next. 5.5. We were taking KD at 5.5 before they started doing demons. And we were like, oh, this is low for KD. Same situation. Like, look at that. Like, so we'll definitely be taking advantage of that tonight because that'll probably move. And then one more that's a little bit, like this is just so low, and that's Daniel Gafford assists. Where's he at here? It's set at 1.5, you know? So he hasn't gone under 1. So, you know, if he is at his average, you literally are just rolling the dice on him getting 1 more assist. But he's done it twice in the last 5, but any of these games, obviously 1 more assist would have cashed this. So that's just so low. If you're just looking for some demon plays to make a little YOLO slip and try to see if you can get up to that, you know, like 70 to 100x on like a 6-man or something. Those are 3 demons, you know, that we kind of like. There's some rebound props, but I'm not going to get into those because there's not like really killer value. Usually like 30 minutes before game time, you'll start seeing a lot of really good value. So definitely check out the demons right before the game windows are opening up and about to start. But yeah, guys, so those are the 4 plays for our official plays that were taken for first look. And if you guys want to check out our Discord, it's been super active. Like so many people were cashing in there tonight. The best I did was like a demon play double up, which was nice because it's, you know, I think it was like 9 or 10x. The rest of my slips didn't do as well tonight, but everybody was cashing in there and they were all sharing slips and whatnot. Jordy had some cashing going on again. So if you guys want to check that out, it's something like 50 cents a day. And if you go through the link in the description of the video and then just go to server subscriptions and Discord and subscribe, and it'll unlock all of our channels for you. And you can get to know the community, really good people in there. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it for us. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you guys want to check out the tools from Daily Grind, they're our official partner. They've been with us from the beginning, supporting us, and we really appreciate those guys over there. And they're giving all of our viewers 25% off when you use code BACKDOOR. So that's 25% off of any of their tools for your first month. So if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description of the video as well. Other than that, we hope you guys have a great night, and we will catch you tomorrow in the Daily Show.
Good luck, guys.